99% of all creation is completed vibrationally before you get the evidence of it. So you can, it's like traveling from Phoenix to San Diego, and San Diego is where you want to be, but for most of the distance of 400 miles, you're not where you want to be. And if it frustrates you that you're not there, vibrationally speaking, you would just turn around and go back to Phoenix. You would never get there. In other words, but in terms of this physical journey from place to place, you say, well, I understand that journey, so I can make that. I can see my progress. I can see that with every mile I stay focused in that direction, that I'm getting further from where I don't want to be and closer to where I do want to be. And we say, so you keep the faith, because you have this evidence that shows you you're getting closer, you're getting closer, you're getting closer. So unless you're walking, nobody gets discouraged about that journey. In other words, you don't get discouraged. You hold the faith, you hold the belief. You don't say San Diego is an impossible dream. You don't say San Diego is incurable. I've tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and I can't get there. Because you can get there, and you know you can. So what we're wanting to offer for you here in this explanation of how things work vibrationally is that when you make the connection that the way you feel is your indicator of the direction that you're moving, and you can honestly say to yourself, I do feel optimistic. When I say all is well, I mean it. I really feel it. Then we say, then you can't not get there. If you can maintain that expectation and that attitude and that vibrational frequency, it has to come, and it will come fast. So you say, okay, I'm on my way, and I've talked to Abraham, and Abraham went on way more than 68 seconds, and I got the feeling of the vibration of it, and when I said all is well, I really felt it. And then I looked at my real life situation, and I saw I wasn't yet in San Diego. In other words, I looked at something and I felt the negative hit of it, because I'm not where I want to be, and I want to do something and I don't have the money to do it, and I felt the disappointment. And we say, good. The disappointment's your indicator that that whatever just happened caused you to lose your sense of expectation and to begin focusing upon something different from your expectation. What can you do now to bring yourself back to that feeling? And when you work in that feeling of discouragement to bring yourself to something that feels better, you clean up your vibration in a way that it will never return to that negative place again. In other words, when you feel negative emotion and you take the time to chew on it, as we are here, until you actually feel relief, which will take you usually 68 seconds or more to get there. When you actually viscerally feel the relief, now you're never going to have to clean up that vibration again on that subject in just that way. You moved in the universe. You moved to a different vibrational vantage point. And here's the most important thing that we want you to hear about that. Because you moved to a different vibrational vantage point, the manifestational evidence has to shift too. So in the moment that you make the effort to do that, all things in the universe regarding that subject respond to the new vibration that you're offering. So that's the day you buy a ticket that gives you a little winning. That's the day you notice that somebody dropped something on the sidewalk. That's the day you get an idea that pays off for you. That's the day you rendezvous with somebody who has something to offer you, and you have something to offer them, and you exchange something financially as a result of it. In other words, that little bit of effort that didn't seem, you couldn't see that it was getting you closer to San Diego. You couldn't see it because it's not like driving your car toward a destination, but you felt it, so you knew it. And because you felt it, and because you understood the importance of the way you felt, you kept it up, and 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 you kept it up. Pretty soon you don't just hope that you'll have your abundance, you don't just believe it, you know it, because the evidence is so emphatically surrounding you. Just thought by thought, by thought, by thought, by thought, by thought. You clean it up, clean it up, clean it up, clean it up, clean it up. And what do we mean by clean it up? You tell it the way you want it to be, and tell it less the way you don't want it to be. You stop facing reality and you start creating reality. So your friends say, what are you up to? And you say, all good things. And they say, were you able to buy that thing you wanted to buy, or did you get that job you wanted to get? And you say, I'm right on track with it. And they say, no, you didn't understand my question. Did you get it? And you say, you didn't understand my answer. I'm on track for it. And they say, well, if you don't have it, you don't have it. And you say, not true at all. I have it vibrationally. And now that I've got it vibrationally, it must come to me. It is law. I've got it vibrationally. Well, how do you know it's coming? Because I feel so good. Well, you feel good before you got it. What's wrong with you? I know the process. I have achieved vibrational alignment with my desire, and so it must come. It is law. How do you know you've achieved vibrational alignment? Your negative friend says. How do you know you've achieved vibrational alignment with what you want? I feel good every time I think about it. I feel good when I think about it. I feel good when I think about my fortune. I don't feel sarcastic, and I don't feel disappointed, and I don't feel discouraged. I feel optimistic because I know it's coming. In fact, I'm so optimistic, look at my list of what I'm going to do with it. This is my list of what I'm going to do with it. And do you know, every time, there's another game that we offer. It's a checkbook game where every day you deposit $1,000 into your account, vibrational dollars, and every day you spend that $1,000. On the second day, you deposit $2,000 and spend them. On the third day, you deposit $3,000 and spend them. On the 365th day, you deposit $365,000 and spend it. So as you are spending this money vibrationally, as you're mentally spending it, what's happening is you are creating outlets out there for it to go. And do you know, when you create a vibrational outlet, it draws you and everything for the accomplishment of it through you. That's what eagerness is. That's what passion is. That's what your feeling of enthusiasm is. In other words, when you present in this time-space reality the vibrational pre-paving of a desire, it sets things into motion that when you let yourself go with them, you feel wonderful, and when you don't let yourself go with them, you feel awful. Did you hear that? That means that if you feel really bad about something, it means you have asked for something, and the larger part of you has become something that you're not letting the rest of you keep up with. We want you to realize that you are the reason that your stream moves as fast as it does, and you're also the reason that you're pointed with or against the current, you see. And everything you feel is about that. We want to give you one more, what we see as a very important thing, and that is everything that you want is because you think you will feel better in the having of it. Whether it's money or a material object or a relationship or an experience, circumstance, event, everything that you want is because you think if you had it, you would feel better. And when you discover that just the idea of it will make you feel better, now you've achieved the vibrational essence of it, and then law of attraction has to yield it to you in all of the intricate details that your life has caused you to carve out for yourself. It has to be, and in fact it is. In your environment today, you are projecting, because of what you're living now, into the future, improved life experience, that when new energies are born into new infant bodies who are not resistant, they will then, because they're new and not resistant, reap the benefit of what you have put into the mass consciousness's vibrational escrow. Just as you in your time and space are reaping the benefits of what past generations have set forward, because you just can't live life as humanity without asking for improvement. What we are wanting to propose to you is that you don't have to croak to close your gap, and you don't have to be reborn in order to reap the benefit of what you have launched. You can do it all here and now in this lifetime, and in fact that's what you planned. You said, I'll go forth and the variety will inspire me to an idea, and once the idea has hatched within me, I will give it my undivided attention. Well, isn't that what we were just saying to you? Give your undivided attention to your newly hatched desires, and never mind the reality that was the basis that caused you to want them. Jerry and Esther were in Orlando a few months ago, and they had a new navigational system. in their car, and Esther programmed it to where they wanted to be. They were going from Orlando to Tampa. And as she got on the thruway, Jerry grinned and then commented, you know, you're going exactly the opposite direction of the way you want to go. And Esther protested, I did exactly what this system told me to do. And Jerry said, well, whether you did or not, I'm here to tell you you're going the wrong direction. And about then, the system said to Esther, when possible, make a legal U-turn. Actually, what it said to her was to take the next exit, and it turned her around on the thruway and got her going in the other direction. But they went several miles out of their way because it was a long way between exits. And then Esther is pondering, because it's a new system that she wanted to trust and had had good results with. So she didn't want to believe that it was screwy, but she didn't want to believe that she was screwy either. And then she said to Jerry, maybe what happened, maybe I did what I thought it said, but I didn't do what it really said, and it allowed me to do it. The old system would have squawked sooner, but it allowed me to do it, and then it just recalculated, so it knew immediately what I now needed to do, so it kept encouraging me in the wrong direction until it was time to exit and go back. So now Esther's all activated about this. She's wanting to know, was I the crazy one, or is this new system the crazy one? And Jerry doesn't care who's the crazy one. He just wants to go in the right way. But Esther couldn't let it go. And then she said to Jerry, you know, maybe I did misunderstand. She said, we could go back to where we started. And we could set the system, and we could retrace our steps, and then we'd really know if the system was the one who made the mistake or if I did. And Jerry said, we could do that, or we could just keep going in the right direction now. And this is the thing that we want to say to all of you. There's this tendency to, because you have scrutinized yourself so much as others have viewed you and you have watched them viewing you, you compare yourselves academically, economically, emotionally, socially. In other words, there's this constant comparison that goes on as you're trying to find your place in the world. Hardly any of you can see yourself as you are. You see yourself as you think you're reflected back through the eyes of the peanut gallery that you think is looking at you, and so hardly any of you have a clear view of who you are. And in the process of that, you lose your awareness that you are where you are, and that there's this place that you want to go, and that you could easily just go directly to where you want to be. Instead, there is this incessant sensation that I need to now explain to whoever is interested, and certainly they all must surely be, of how it is I got here. How did I get here? Let me explain. I will write a book. I will explain to anyone who will listen, this is what I think about this and why, and this is how I got to this conclusion and why, and this is who I am, 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 the good, the bad, the ugly, this is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am. Did I tell you that this is who I am? And I'd like to explain to you why this is who I am. And we say, let it go. Let it go. Let your awareness, instead of being, this is where I am, this is the thing that we most want this seminar to say to you in a way that you can hear it. It doesn't matter where you are, because it's so temporary. It's just like the indicator on your gas gauge. Have you noticed how quickly it moves? Especially lately? In other words, it's just an indicator. That's all it is an indicator. So what's manifesting is just a temporary indicator of a temporary vibration. And so, but you say, well, it didn't feel all that temporary because I've been living it for a long time. And we say, it's because you've been having the same responses and offering the same vibration. So it's the same thing happening, but it's new. In other words, the same thing isn't happening to you. You're not living the same life. It's a new living of a new life from a new vibration. It's just that the vibration that you're offering now is the same one that you offered yesterday, because you've got the habit of thinking of things the way you thought of them yesterday.